Hi everyone. Why put a tantalum capacitor across the Zener diode? Here's why, explained with examples. Welcome to a brand new Tech Tips series here at Mr. Carlson's lab. If you'd like to stay current in this Tech Tips series and get notified as soon as I post a brand new video here, definitely subscribe and click all. That way you'll be notified. All right. Let's get started. The best way to explain why this tantalum capacitor is across the Zener diode is to give you an example, and you can actually see what's going on here. So this is the exact same capacitor Zener diode combination that's in the thumbnail there. So 68 microfarad at 16 volts, and this is a 10 volt Zener. So normally I'd have a higher voltage rated tantalum across this, but this is just something out of the junk bin, and really the capacitance is what matters for this demonstration here. So I have another set that's actually not wound together like this. So I have the single capacitor here, brand new cap here, and the exact same diode right here. So this is a 10 volt Zener and this, and technically this would be just like this, just like the other one, right? So what I'll do here is I'll put this combination into the test fixture and let you listen to it. Okay? So I'll put this in here and in here, like so. And I'll turn this on, like so. And I'll grab the mic, pardon any bumping here. As you can hear, it's pretty quiet, right? All right, now what I'll do is I'll swap that Zener out for another Zener. I'll just turn this down here. I'll swap this out for another Zener, the same one, but without the tantalum across it. So just the Zener diode itself. All right, so here we go. I'll turn this back up. Hear that? Kind of sounds like a blank spot on a radio with no signal, right? Hear that static rushing noise in there? That's because Zener diodes are horribly noisy, and they need decoupling. They need a cap across them to get rid of that. So what I'll do is I'll put here again, just like so, and I'll grab this capacitor, and what I'm going to do, the same thing as this that you saw in the thumbnail, is I'll put this capacitor across the diode and listen to what happens. It's quiet. Take that off, and you can hear the noise come back. There you go. You hear the noise come back. And I'll open the lead here. I'll just turn this down and open the lead so that you can hear that there is no noise with the lead open, right? It's just open line hum noise, right? So Zener diodes need decoupling because what happens in circuit is a lot of the times these are controlling pass elements, or just depending on the type of circuit they're in, they can be in sensitive audio stages, and they'll add noise to the circuit, a lot of noise. Now you think this one's bad. Okay, I'll just leave the volume up here, right? I'll put this one in. Not all Zeners are created equally. I'll grab another Zener off to the side here. I'll just pull one out of the bin. That's actually a really nice Zener. In fact, I have one right here. May as well just use it. Well, it doesn't matter either or. I'll just use the one I pulled out. All right, so I'll turn this down. And I'll put this Zener diode in, and listen. It's this 10 volt Zener as well. Isn't that crazy? That's that Zener doing it. And it's well above the reverse of this Zener diode. You can't even get the volume up, halfway without it just being incredibly loud, right? I'll take this capacitor again. Hopefully you can hear me over this because it's loud. Take this capacitor. Listen to that. Dead silent. just by adding that decoupling cap, takes all that noise right to ground. And that's why any good design around a Zener diode, whether it's some form of a shunt regulation circuit, the most crude circuit should always have some form of decoupling across the Zener diode, especially if it's in a circuit that is very sensitive. So say it's in an audio amplifier, or say they're using it for regulation just in, some stage, it needs to have decoupling. And if you ever find a design where you see a Zener diode and there isn't decoupling across it, that's the sign of an engineer not knowing what he's doing. They should always have decoupling across them. So if you'd like to build this thing that picks it up, this is a project that I've released in my Patreon electronics course. Or if you'd like to build this simple little test fixture for listening to noise, which is just what you see right here. This is all it is. This is completely explained in a video how this works and everything. Just this simple little bunch of components right here. It makes it very, very simple to test for noise. Now, granted, this here is in the detection mode, so this is really, really listening for any type of static or hiss or anything like that, whereas a standard signal tracer would just be in an audio mode and it'd be relatively quiet. So this is really, really sensitive to listening to noise in Zener diodes and things like that. So it's designed for troubleshooting, you could say, right? So anyways, if you're interested in any of that, check this all out in my Patreon electronics course. But there you go. That's the reason that tantalums are across Zener diodes. So if you ever find a circuit that is a regulation circuit that doesn't have a tantalum or some form of decoupling across that Zener diode, you may want to think about adding it. It may improve the circuit dramatically. For those of you that want to see what this looks like on a scope, there's the Zener diode there. I'll put the cap across it. And remove it. Now there's actually quite a bit more there. I've just got the intensity down so that it doesn't wash the camera out. Check this out. Right? That is a lot of noise. One simple tantalum cleans it right up. If you're enjoying this Tech Tip series, or just my videos in general, and you'd like to be notified when I post a brand new video, definitely subscribe and click all. That way you'll definitely be notified. If you'd like to take your electronics knowledge to a much higher level, learn electronics in a very different way, and have access to hundreds more videos with projects for you to build and learn from. I even share my own electronic inventions, creations, and designs there. You'll definitely want to check out my electronics course on Patreon. There's something there for just about everyone. There is no pressure. You can learn at your own pace, or if you want, you can even just watch quietly in the background. I'll put the link just below the video's description under the Show More tab, and I'll pin the link at the top of the comments section. So if you click one of those links, it'll take you right there and you can check it out. Or if you like, you can just Google Mr. Carlson's Lab Patreon and it'll come right up. All right, until next time, take care. Bye for now.